Can you
Can you
guys
guys
see
see
my
my
screen?
screen?
Yes, sir.
So
So
today
today
we
we
are
are
going to
going to
do
do
some
some
experiment.
experiment.
We
We
will
will
run
run
you
you
through a
through a
workbook.
workbook.
So for
So for
that,
that,
if you
if you
can
can
have
have
any
any
notepad
notepad
or a
or a
pen
pen
or
or
something
something
with
with
you,
you,
and we
and we
will
will
do a
do a
practical
practical
exercise.
exercise.
Recently,
Recently,
as
as
I
I
shared
shared
with
with
you,
you,
I
I
have
have
joined
joined
Alpha
Alpha
Group,
Group,
and
and
Alpha
Alpha
Group
Group
is
is
basically
basically
a
a
UK based
UK-based.
company which is into peer-to-peer boardroom coaching. No? So in Alpha Group, we have very unique set of workbooks which are there for us to look at. So as I mentioned, today we are going to talk about how we can forecast our likely market value. So for that purpose, let us look at the uh, the how we conduct this workbook, and I think this will, by the end of this workbook, it will give you a lot of insights into uh, how we can look at our businesses. So how many of us are in active business or having a startup? Can we know your So I know Ajish is there, Sanjay, Sahil is also in business, so that's great. As we do this workbook, I think you have to keep your business in mind, uh, and that will actually give you a very good sense of how things are going to be, and how you can evaluate your business. So, when we look at basic, activities of a business, uh, mm, one, you have the formula for working out this likely market value in 3 years. The basic, thing which you have to keep in mind is you have to predict your current and likely profit multiplier. Now, when I say your current and likely profit multiplier, we'll come to that, how we are going to do it. Then, you have to calculate your current and likely market value based on this very powerful formula. And also, there are 12 growth strategies which I am going to share with you. And if you look at these growth strategies, that will give you kind of a image as to how we can uh, analyze our valuation. So let's go one by one. As I said, it will be better if you can keep some notebook or a pad, or even you can use your mobile's pad. When we look at our current or likely profit multiplier, these are the factors which need to be looked at. One, your directors and you. Uh, so, uh, so if we look at this aspect, you and your directors or co-founder, they are essential for the business. So if you can see, there is a score of 1 to 5, and you have to first analyze where do you stand as of now. What marks you give yourself, whether you give it 1, 2, 3, or whatever, on the scale of 1 is to 5. And we have autonomous management teams with a succession plan in place. So I'm not sure whether you have, if I look at my own business, as you know, I'm into a consulting in for the startups or something. So I'm still building my succession plan. So I don't have. My daughter is a lawyer by profession. She's just started her career, so maybe she is going in that direction. So I can say I have a partial succession plan, but not fully. So So if I rate myself on this scale, I'm around between 1 and 2. So similarly, that's I'm a Q I'm giving you. You can judge for yourself what is your current uh, and likely profit multiplier for this, as far as you and your directors are concerned. Where do you stand? So you can give a score to yourself. Then your market means what kind of business you are in. So uh, is it highly competitive market, or you have a niche market with high barrier to entry? So that means it gives you a lot of room to play around. So you can once again put in scale of 1 is to 5. If I have to look for myself in my business, I have a very, very highly competitive market. So I'll say I'm between 1 and 2 again. Then your license and service revenues. You have a recurring revenue, which is 10% of your total annual sale, or your recurring revenue is more than 80% of total annual sale. So between these two, what is the condition? So if your customer is one-time customer and doesn't come back, then you don't have a recurring revenue, right? But if you have a recurring revenue where that kind of continuity of business and people coming back to you, the same set of customers, so you can again rate. In my case, since I am into consulting, most of my clients stay with me. Once they get attached to me, they stay with me for long. So so I can say I have a I can be 3 in this case, right? Now we have less than 5 key customers in one market sector, or we have more than 10 key customers in 3 market sectors. So it depends, who your customers are. I think all of us, we know what our customers are like and who our customers are. So we have to take a decision. uh, so in this case, uh, my customers are spread all over the place, so they are from different market sectors. But I don't have so many of them, so I'll say I'm around 2. Your new products and services. We have a new single product or service, or which remains in development, or we have a fully developed range of new wow products and services. Again, we have to rate ourselves on a scale of 1 is to 5. Now if you look at that, you can uh, then total up your score and multiply it by 4. So in my case, as I said, I rated my first column as say 2. 2 plus 2 4, 4 plus 2 6, and maybe 2 again, 8, 8 and maybe 1, I will give 9. 9 into 4, right? So and your current and predicted profit multiplier will be you know 9 into 4, 36, divided by 10, so it is 3.6, right? So that is how we can arrive at our profit multiplier. And we can look at how we are going to do our valuation. So let us move to, we leave this part, we'll come back here. Let's look at what are our growth strategies and what should be our growth strategies. Now, if we look at in the year 1, you have to first is set up your inspiring company direction and culture for you and your people. No, so uh, what I mean is, when you start your business, you need to create your compelling company purpose and guiding principles. Because unless you are very clear what you want to do, which direction you want to go, uh, what is your purpose of the company, what is your vision, mission, uh, I don't think you can have a very clear path of your direction. So that is where I think we need to focus on. And also build your powerful belief about your company purpose and goals, and involve your people in your company purpose and goals. Because one, you need to have a compelling company purpose, but then if it is only known to you, it doesn't make sense. You need to have a powerful belief on it for yourself, and also you need to involve your people in your company purpose and goals, so that they understand your company purpose and goals, and they actually resonate with you on these company purpose and goals, right? And second, the major aspect is develop your wow product and service. So when we are defining our compelling company business proposition, it is very very important that we should successfully uh, you know develop new products and services, because at the end of the day, people are uh, going to look at us, or they are going to buy our product, or they are going to buy our services, and those should be very compelling and strong propositions. It should not be that, oh, I am offering what others are offering, then there's hardly any USP you have. So you need to have, create your wow business for fast growth, because the growth can only happen if your product is such that it catches the attention of the people, uh, or it actually is what people are looking at, or it is a problem solution to a problem which people simply lap it up. Recent example I can give you, this 10 minutes quick delivery, um, like Blinkit, or other new small companies which have come for in this business. And now, what is happening is, they understood that there is a desire that somebody should deliver quickly, and you don't have to even go to the next door shop. So that kind of uh, measure is very very important, right? So how many of you resonate with me on this? Can you just keep on let's keep on using the chat box for interacting, and so I think it is something, they have actually caught the attention. And similarly, the pharmacy companies, uh, like 1mg, NetMed, there are so many of them now. They understood that people have a requirement of getting medicines at home, and at a good price, because the in pharma industry, you will be surprised to know the margins are very very high in certain medicines. Even the margins are as high as more than 50%. Now, so that is how these companies are able to pass on 20 to 25% discounts, and still and deliver also at home, and still they are profitable. So that kind of the business model has evolved recently, and out of the requirement of people, right? So we need to understand and create a wow product or a business, so that the growth becomes automatic. I think we need to understand this aspect very clearly. Create your innovative delivery system. Now, when we are developing our business model, we must streamline our business process, so that uh, the delivery system is built. And of course, the likely impact of this aspect on the annual percentage of profit uh, is going to be low, medium, or high. We can always analyze. And then uh, you know we have to keep our fast growth on track through some effective indicators. So delivery system is another very important aspect these days, because I won't say thanks to pandemic, but pandemic has taught us that and it has actually given birth to many such businesses, where earlier we used to go to the market for even buying small things, or supermarket, or even for our regular groceries and vegetables and whatever. Now everything comes home, right? So the concepts are changing, and all these companies are thriving because of this new age requirements which have emerged. Few are out of the necessity, and few are out of the overall situation which exists, right? So now the fourth important aspect is engage your people in growing your business, because at the end of the day, you cannot grow your business on your own. I come across many entrepreneurs. I do interact with many of them for their business strategy implementation and growth. They are sometimes when I ask them, okay, we have made this strategy, who's going to implement? They always say, oh, I'm the only one. So I think we need to gradually build our second line, and for operational handling of the issues and operational handling of the uh, business, uh, we need people, right? So develop your inspiring and strategic leadership, recruit the right people for your team. That is the key, and build your engaged and empowered teams, because at the end of the day, for business growth, you need to have your people in place, and you need to engage with them. They should also understand your business very well, and they should uh, also get involved into your business the way you are involved. So for that, you have to keep them motivated, you have to keep them involved, you have to share all your strategies with them, and empower them for further growth. And also let us analyze how this is going to have a likely impact on the annual percentage of operating profit of your company, whether it is going to be low, medium, or high. So this is a very scientific way of analyzing how we can grow, right? Now, the second most important aspect is create your niche, profitable niche. No, so now this uh, for the profitable niche, one, what we have to do is sharpen your market focus. We need to sharpen our market focus, so that we are very clear uh, where we have to mm, hit the nail, and also where we have to put our effort, and so that is a very important aspect. All these aspects which we are discussing, uh, Alpha Group has a separate set of workbooks on all these aspects, and there is a very strong tool which is available, which actually teaches us through practical examples how we can actually implement, or how we can sharpen our market focus. And also it is very important to decide your special niche for fast growth. So now the uh, for fast growth, just now we discussed, it is very important to have a niche. If you are just run of the mill kind of a company, or you are doing something which is say hundreds of other people are doing, you will not have any niche. why should people remember you or look at you, right? So for that, you need to work on your niche area. You need to actually look at the very engaging problem which for which you can offer a solution, and you should create a value proposition that people come to you for that kind of advice or whatever product you have. So it can be anything, right? So you need to create a niche for yourself, and that makes sure that you grow fast, no? Because if you are not having a niche, then the growth impediments will definitely be there. And can you guys relate with this for your business? You also have a special niche for fast growth in your business. Please use the chat window. And I don't see any engagement. Yeah, sure. Sanjay says. Ajish also, yes. Yes and no, both. Okay, Ajish. Why so? Why yes and no? Uh, so, so you need to work on it, maybe, right? So we need to actually generate potential customers for our niche, no? So that's where I think we need to focus on, that we need to generate our potential customers for our niche product or niche area. And that is where, because at the end of the day, customer is giving you revenue. You are not going to get your revenue from anybody else. So we all need to create our special niche, and that ensures a fast growth for us. Now, uh, the next important thing which is there is how to enhance your brand for the fast growth. Now, I think it is similar. We need to analyze the impact uh, of all these factors on our annual sale, whether it is low, medium, or high. Now, for brand and the fast growth, we need to significantly increase our brand value. Now, who knew Zomato, more than 10 years back? Nothing. They were not there on. Who knew Paytm? They are all new age products and brands which have become bigger and bigger. Who knew 1mg? 1mg is a maybe from 6 to 7 years old story, right? So but they have created brand value, and that valuation is something which others, they realize that this is already a brand, and they pay premium for that, right? Tata's bought 1mg, and they paid a very high premium for that. Now, uh, so this is a story where a very simple um concept of selling pharma products uh, and making them reach the customer um, got the attention, and they created a brand out of it, right? And that brand was able to attract the investors as well, right? So that is where the valuation comes in place. You create a value for your company through the brand value, right? So transform your brand content and online presence. These days, there are many mediums for doing that. And I was talking to somebody. There is a very novel concept I just came across. I'm not sure whether you know that or not. Times of India has a team which identifies the startups in the beginning, and then they tie up with them, they invest in those startups, and they give them branding on their various newspaper channels, TV channels. They are a couple of products they have. They have Economic Times, Times of India, now Bharat Times, and whatnot, right? And also they have a series of TV channels, Times Now, and things like that. So they have this kind of a policy that, okay, they identify a startup, they invest in that startup in a subtle way, and indirectly give them a branding also. I'm sure some other media houses must be having a similar. So we must understand the power of the creation of brand value, and that valuation actually gives you a lot of return in terms of that you get the eye of the customer, so your sales go up, your uh, of course market presence goes up, and if you are a potential uh, on the potential buyout or something, definitely you get much higher valuation from the customers, or the investors. So that is where I think we all need to focus on, and to build your stronger online business. And all these what we are discussing, there are workbooks available on these topics, and if we can sharpen all our these areas, definitely there can be a tremendous change in our business value and our business valuation, right? So today I'm discussing with you all these areas which we can look at, and if you are more keen to know about how this whole thing can be done, you can get in touch with me on my personal window. And how to organize effectively to grow your business, right? So one, of course, you have to organize your company for fast growth. That is a very uh, understandable way of growing. So you need to put all your effort on creating a strategy which will ensure that we all grow our company at a certain percentage of growth level. Because if you're not growing, as you know, there is a CAGR, which is compounded annual growth rate. uh, CAGR for certain industries is around 15%, 20%, or something like that. So even when investors are looking at your business, they look at what is the CAGR of the industry you are in, and what is the potential. So if the CAGR of your industry itself is 20%, that means there is a likelihood that okay, you will also grow at say at least 15% if you are not so good. But if you are very good, you can even grow more than the CAGR of your industry. So that's how they evaluate your potential, and that is where I think your valuation is taken care. So you must organize your company for the fast growth. Create your effective growth strategy. Of course, we need to create our bigger strategy. So that is where I think all of us, we need to focus on. I think I'll make it a little bigger for you. Yeah. Now, clarify your team's role. No, that is again very, very important. You may be having your growth strategy, you may know what you have to do, but unless your team is involved in that, your speed will not be that much. So I think we need to constantly engage our team. We need to you know talk to them on regular basis, and we need to clarify with each team member that this is your role. So that is where the role of having a proper HR in your organization who can actually set the KRAs and then monitor those KRAs. So as you grow bigger, you need to bring in all these practices into place, and so that sometimes there is a inorganic growth in certain businesses. Who thought that there will be uh, you know uh, Prime Minister suddenly announced that there'll be no currency, more than 500 and 2,000, or more than 1,000 and 2,000. So suddenly Paytm had a rush of business. No, so I would say they had an inorganic growth at that time. So but they were prepared, and they took advantage of this very fast. They had a team in place which actually implemented quickly, because everybody, all the small shopkeepers also, they were looking for that Paytm scanner. So that's how they grew. And not only Paytm, many such apps, or many such innovative Bharat Pay and other such innovative businesses grew. So we all need to be very, very ready for taking advantage of the growth uh, possibilities, and growth strategies should be utilized, and we should use our team for that. Scale your business. Now, again, uh, you know when you have to scale your business, you need to remove your strategic barrier for fast growth, because you know everybody can grow fast, but there are definitely some barriers to your fast growth. You can yourself go deep into what are the factors which are uh, you know stopping me to grow fast, and you can always visualize them and then handle them more effectively. So that is where you need to work on, and remove your strategic barriers for fast growth. Plan to scale your business, because I think earlier in one of my talks also I mentioned about PDCA cycle. Now, plan, do, check, and act. Now, this is a Japanese management jargon, where as you know, Japanese, they are very methodical in their approach. So they always plan first, then do, then check and act. No, but we sometimes do other way around. No, we act and then but never plan and never check. So this is, you must plan to scale up your business. Unless you do meticulous planning, you will not be able to achieve what you are trying to do, and acquire and integrate companies for your fast growth. Now, this is another new age way of having a inorganic growth, that you can acquire and integrate companies. So that is how a lot of mergers and acquisitions are happening. Uh, if you are growing and you are making money, or you have strategic investors to work with you, you can always identify that for your quick growth, you can always acquire and integrate companies um, with you. And that is how we have seen in this marketplace many such acquisitions are coming in, where suddenly the business integration helps in overall growth of the company, right? So that approach should always be adopted for inorganic growth. Recent examples you all know, but I am remembered of very you know those of you who know Hindustan Levers. Hindustan Levers decided to uh, get into ice cream business, right? So they thought that it will take too much time to set up uh, manufacturing plants all over the place and things like that. So they had to launch this quality walls, right? But what they did, they took over a company called Milk Food. No, so Milk Food was the one which was very big in the this ice cream business. But suddenly, one day, they were taken over by Hindustan Levers, and all the shops, all the wherever they were present, they were painted as quality walls, and that's how a brand was launched, and with all the manufacturing plants of milk food taken over by Hindustan Levers. So if you have money in your pocket, you can do anything, right? You need to actually work with lot of strategy, and you can always acquire and integrate companies for fast growth. Again, the likely impact of this, you should keep on analyzing. Now, these why it is written 1 to 3 years. This is a alpha group strategy to train the people who join them into through all these workbooks. Now, whatever topics we are discussing, they are all workbooks of alpha group. uh, Now, become bold and positive leader, because at the end of the day, uh, you run your business. If you are not bold, you are not positive, you are not engaged with your team, you are not yourself very confident that, oh, I can do this, you cannot grow the company. So uh, mm, so in order to uh, do that, one big aspect is decide your bold and motivating company goals, because uh, one, the goals have to be bold enough. Example of a bold goal can be to grow the company at 50%, right? It's not easy to grow at 50%. But unless you have a goal which is a very big goal or a strong goal, you cannot be going in that direction, right? If you are not very clear where what percentage of growth you are looking at, you may not be reaching near it, right? And also, they have to be realistic goals. Then you have to take action towards that, and you need to keep your team motivated for that, right? Um then develop your winning attitudes for fast growth. Now, attitude matters a lot. No? so in order to develop your winning attitude, you need to work on yourself. For example, if I have to grow my business, I need to be very focused as to what I have to do in order to disseminate the message across to the people, what I have to offer as a service, or what change I can bring into the lives of people who take my services. And that will develop a winning attitude for the fast growth for my business, right? So similarly, each one of you have your businesses. You you know need to work on your winning attitude, and you should always be on business acquisition, customer acquisition, growth strategy. All these areas we all need to focus on to make sure that we achieve fast growth. Uh, be a leader coach. No, that is again very strong statement, because unless you show leadership, your team will not be motivated, right? You have to show it by example. uh, uh, you know so you need to be hands on. There are many stories of Dr. Abdul Kalam or such leaders who have been a leader coach. No, I remember a story of Dr. Abdul Kalam, where uh, very interesting story. One of his scientists, they were doing this launch activity, and one of his scientists, he came to Dr. Abdul Kalam and he said that today I have to go early. I have to take my son to the circus because he's insisting. But he was working on a very critical part of the project where only he could do it, and the so Dr. Kalam told him that you are on a very critical project. You should not, bother about uh, these things, because our deadline for this project is much more important than what you are asking the leave for. So okay, he went back. He was a scientist. He went back to work. After that, he forgot, and he was engaged in his work. And late night, he reached home. So his son came to him running very happily. That thanking his father. He said, "What happened? I didn't come to take you to the so." But then his wife told that Dr. Kalam himself came and took his son to the circus. So that's leadership, no? So he actually, you know, took out time and made sure that this person is his family is also happy and taken care, but the work also didn't suffer. And that's how you achieve your deadlines. Or these are just examples I'm sharing with you. There are many such stories. You need to be an inspiring person. Your persona should be such that you are an inspiration for your team, and you have to be a leader and a coach, at the same time, if you have to become a big successful person. So of course, achieve your outstanding customer relationship. Now, again, this is I come from a background where I worked for a Japanese company for a long time. uh, we were taught customer is king, customer is god. Certain companies, certain Japanese companies have even this thought process: the customer is god. So because at the end of the day, uh, it is the customer who is buying your products. No, your company will not exist if the customer is not there, right? So it is very, very important that we must manage our relationship with our customers. We increase your ideal and lifetime customers. As I interact with a lot of SMEs in Walmart also, uh, I always tell them and ask them this question: how many repeat customers you have? There are many online sellers I am interacting with. So they always sometimes they have not analyzed that, no, but there are many who analyze that, and I always keep on suggesting you must reward your uh, customers who are coming back to you, because the repeat customer is the one who is actually a loyal customer, and also who is a mouthpiece for you, who will be spreading the positivity about you and your company to others. No, so that, I think, approach has to be understood well by all of us. So we must increase our ideal and lifetime customers, uh, and gain your valuable referrals from your ideal customers. Now, again, there are so many businesses which come from referrals. No? So, if you are doing good work, if you are having an excellent product, if you are having an excellent service, 110% your existing customer will refer you to somebody else. So you must gain your valuable referrals from your ideal customer. So that actually ensures your growth, because otherwise, who will come to know that what you are doing, right? So I think all of us, we need to focus on this aspect, that one, we must manage our relationship with our customers, we must increase our ideal and lifetime customers, and also we must gain our valuable referrals from our ideal customer. That's the key to success, let me tell you. And those who can do it perfectly, there's nothing which can stop them. Uh, Definitely, they will grow in the business and in the strategy they are trying to adopt. So, this is a very powerful tool which is available to work on it. And I think we should all work on ourselves to become bigger and successful, right? So, now, another is successfully implement your company growth projects. No, so now you all know that what are your company growth projects. So, but the implementation is the key. No, because we all have so many ideas. Sometimes we are very excited about our ideas, but if those ideas remain in our mind or on paper, nothing will happen, right? So we all need to be very uh, mm, you know it should be our motto to successfully implement our key projects and make better decisions using the right information. Now, this is again very critical. Sometimes, we don't have the right information. We don't know. I always, wherever I'm helping entrepreneurs, I always tell them and guide one very basic principle: make a business plan and do the monthly monitoring of your business plan. No, because if you don't have a business plan and you don't even monitor that, you are just running around, oh, acquiring customer, you are doing business, but you are bleeding. So, doesn't make sense, right? You should actually first have a plan, and then you should analyze that plan, that where do you stand with vis-a-vis your plan, right? So if you can do that, then even if you are going little negative, you can always do course correction, right? Now, course correction means you can always take immediate actions, where if you are going wrong, or for example, if you are incurring losses, you need to curtail your expenses, right? You should not be overspending. Sometimes people think, oh, my revenue is coming, so my sale is increasing, so I should spend more. No, if you are not making money, you should be very careful about your expenditure side also. So, so that is very critical and important. You must analyze your plan and also monitor your plan versus actual results. Try to make your profitability on monthly basis. If you are struggling there, you can get in touch with me. I'll tell you. I can even share some templates with you to do that. But have that as a policy, because that will guide you as to who. Because some people, they have a policy, or साल के बाद वो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट फाइनेंशियल रिजल्ट बना देगा, तो बना देगा तो हमें साल के बाद ही पता लगेगा कि हम प्रॉफिट में या लॉस में, राइट? So that doesn't make business sense, and that doesn't give you kind of immediate action you should take to stop you know going in the wrong direction and doing so you must always monitor and do the course correction at the right time. So make better decision using the right information. That is where the information should be there with you. If you don't have information, how do you know that you are going in a wrong direction? So successfully implement your quarterly fast growing growth projects. Now, this is again, we must identify those projects and then implement those projects. That is what makes a difference, and that is what make us stand out. Now, the whole exercise we have talked about is to realize our company's market value. So, plan your desired market value, where you want to go. So normally, the thumb rule is your revenue is uh, giving an indicator, and based on your revenue, you can always have a valuation which can be depending on your product, anywhere between 5 times to 10 times or whatever of your revenue number, or sometimes it can be even more if your product is so innovative, you are so in such a positioning that people are even getting seed funds at a very initial stage at a very very high valuation. So it depends, how attractive is the product, and prepare your business for high value sale. That even if you don't have to sell your business, you must always be very focused on your valuation. You should always say that, see to it that are able to generate a better valuation, and of course sell your business effectively. So I think this whole exercise has given us and open our mind a bit towards how to create the valuation. So this is a tool, calculate your current and likely valuation. So current we already did. So your annual sale base, you are likely to increase the relevant. As we did on the in the previous page, this one A, B, and C, I think when we started our discussion. Okay. Now we have to be aware of these multipliers which are there, and here is the formula, and your percentage of operating profit uh, will give you a multiplier, and then you can analyze your market value. If you want some more inputs on this, I'll be too happy to share that with you. So any questions, any you know anything you has come to your mind, you can just ask me.
Yeah, so Rajiv sir, thank you so much for giving us this presentation.
Yeah.
So I want to ask one question because when I'm discussing all those things, right, acquiring the company with the senior leadership team,
जी.
so they are telling me right now in all the startup in their mindset that after 3 years or 4 years, some big company is going to acquire us,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, right, after acquiring, we don't know, right? Because suppose I'm a product manager of a big company and we have evaluated some company and
Mm-hmm.
acquired. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, we are just seeing that that company is not giving value or adding value in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a startup point of view, what's our mindset? Our mindset should be we have to give value, or we will not going in a way that someone will acquire us,
No, no, no.
or we have.
Yeah, please complete your question. Yeah.
Yeah, so means at a startup point of view, at a big company point of view, how we can look the company, right?
See, one, when we are doing acquisition, we should be very clear the what is the purpose of the acquisition, right? Now, there may be a possibility that that company which we are acquiring is already having a very high revenue, which they are doing, right? That is one example. Second, they may be working or operating in a market in which we are not present, right? So, inorganic growth for me can happen in those markets. Third can be that that company has a very unique product or something which can be actually, if we acquire, or they are the competitor, right, for us. So it makes sense to buy a competitor so that we kill the competition, and there is an indirect benefit to us that my market share goes up, right? So all these factors need to be considered when we are making acquisition. uh,
No,
uh,
so all the new startup, right? It's very difficult. Suppose as a big company, you
mhm.
want to come in a new business area, software business
Right,
area,
right.
and in that case, you want to acquire a company, right? Small startup,
Hmm.
but they are only in POC stage. They are not generating revenues. Then how we can evaluate these things, right? After acquisition,
Yeah,
because
but
what is happening, this small company, they are only working on the how to evaluate that company, right? High price, all those things.
Mm-hmm. No, but there has to be reason for acquisition, right? So you find some merit in buying that company, only then you will buy. Otherwise, you will not buy. Nobody buys a company for charity. So you must
Yeah.
have your own very clear reason for buying that company. Maybe the founders have a very sharp mind in software coding or something, so you want to acquire them and utilize their talent in your company, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so I can understand those kind of reasons can also be there. But then if we are buying that company and making them work with us, definitely that we must do our due diligence before buying, whether it makes sense or not. If doesn't make business sense, you can always say thank you very much, I'll not buy it. No. So all these decisions are based on merit, right? Nobody acquires a company just for the heck of it, right?
Okay. And
Yeah.
for the startup point of view, what should be our vision, right? Someone after 3 4 years, someone will acquire us, or
No, I think we should not work towards only acquisition. My way of looking at things is very different. If you get a very, very smart deal or a very lucrative deal, then you should think about it. Otherwise, your motive should be to make the company bigger. You make your business or your idea bigger, and create valuation. No, now, when I say create valuation, you may not have to sell the entire company. You can even sell 10% or 15% or 20% of your equity and get more money into your company for working capital management, right? So that is also possible. But yes, if you get a very lucrative deal or something and you are not making profit and you are actually wanting to sell your business, then it's a different matter.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, Rajiv ji, this is Sanjay here.
Ajay.
Thanks, wonderful insights into. My only thing was that you spread it over 3 years time period, what we should be doing.
Ji,
Wouldn't this be at the back of our minds every day in and day out? What these points are very relevant,
ji,
and I understand we can't evaluate them on a daily basis.
ji.
But for a founder or for a co-founder, they should be a very important points. They should be kept in mind on day in and day out basis.
Absolutely,
Where we are, how we are, where we are going, where we are now.
absolutely,
As you said, the PDCA should be done as frequently as possible.
yes, sir.
So why break it into 3 4 years? That's not.
Actually, what I have shared this presentation from the Alpha Group. This is a Alpha Group model. I give you the background. Alpha Group is a UK-based company which works on the entrepreneurs. No, so they build entrepreneurs, and there is a concept of peer-to-peer boardroom coaching. So all these points are the workbooks of Alpha Group. So their system is that they invite people once a month, entrepreneurs, to join their board meetings, and in each board meeting, one aspect is picked up. No? For
Nice.
example, market value expansion, or fast growth business or something like that, and they work on leadership, strategy, and all these aspects. And then there are mastermind sessions, which are actual case studies of the people
Mhm.
who are there in the room. So and people who are there in the room are basically CEOs and people who are heading the different companies and industries.
Mhm.
So this is their plan
I
to
understand.
to
Okay.
build people in long term for bigger things in life. You cannot acquire all the knowledge in one day, right? So
Sure, sure, sure.
and people who are doing business, they sometimes they don't have so much of time that they, so it's a kind of a very scientific way of empowering businessmen, no, and SME entrepreneurs. So that's why it is like this. But
So that means at which stage of business we are, we could look at that particular module and
absolutely, absolutely. And even if you, let me tell you, even if you may not need that particular thing, but these are all essential parts of looking at business. No,
correct.
sometimes we are so involved in our business that we
Yes.
think कि मेरी तो सेल हो रही है, मेरे को क्या ज़रूरत है कुछ
See,
गोल्स के ऊपर सोचने की, या डेलीगेशन के ऊपर सोचने की,
right,
या लीडरशिप के ऊपर सोचने की,
right.
नो. But these are all very important aspects. So that's why if you want to know more about Alpha Group, you can get in touch with me.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll love to
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's
I'll,
very
I'll,
important.
yes. So
And
I'll,
one more thing, Rajiv ji,
ji,
you mentioned something about a barrier and a strategic barrier.
ji.
Now, what is the difference between them?
Strategic barriers means there are certain barriers which are created by your competitors also, right? Uh, uh, एक तो है कि natural barriers, but there are certain barriers which sometimes we also ourselves create. No, if I am mismanaging my people, if I am not delegating my to my people everything, right? So sometimes I am myself creating strategic barriers in my company, right? So what are those? How to handle them, and how to actually utilize. I work with a lot of SME entrepreneurs. What happens? मैं उनसे पूछता हूँ, प्लान बनवा देता हूँ. मैं उनसे पूछता हूँ आप इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कौन करेगा, तो वो हर कॉलम में अपना नाम लिखने लगते हैं. नो, सो
That's one. Yeah.
सो कि मैं ही कर सकता हूँ. मैं बोला यार
Correct.
तेरे पास कितने लोग हैं, टीम कितनी है? सर 20 लोग हैं. मैंने कहा वो 20 करते क्या हैं? नहीं नहीं वो तो सर सारे जूनियर हैं, ये है वो. मैंने कहा देन यू शुड रिक्रूट वन पर्सन who can actually speed up your implementation, right? So so these kind of sometimes strategic barriers we create,
Right.
which can be handled more effectively.
Right.
तो फास्ट ग्रोथ बिजनेस की अगर हम बात करें तो you know that of course Sahil has written about Indigo example, कि उन्होंने अपना एक बना लिया यूएसपी कि ऑन टाइम, राइट. बाकी एयरलाइंस अभी भी स्ट्रगल कर रही हैं, लेकिन वो भी स्मार्ट हैं. जैसे 1 घंटे 40 मिनट की दिल्ली बॉम्बे की फ़्लाइट है, वो सवा
Wait,
सवा दो घंटा लेके
जो
चलते हैं.
लिखते हैं.
हाँ, तो उसी में वो मैनेज कर लेते हैं, और उन्होंने अपना यूएसपी बना
Is
लिया.
that the correct way of doing it?
सॉरी.
Is that the correct way of doing it? Because perception तो बन ही रहा है मार्केट में कि वो on time है, जैसे साहिल ने लिखा है.
हाँ हाँ.
But so is that the correct way of doing it?
नहीं वो, बट नोबडी कैन चैलेंज इट. नो, अब उड़ते तो वो टाइम पे हैं, ये तो है
हाँ,
ना,
हाँ.
ये तो है. दे आर एंड मेनी अ टाइम्स दे लैंड बिफोर टाइम, राइट. बट एयर इंडिया हैज ऑल्सो इम्प्रूव्ड अ लॉट. आई रिसेंटली वॉज utilizing their service. The Air India has also, after coming in of Tatas, they have really improved. But अभी भी वो Air India का जो perception पहला बना हुआ है, it is
Yeah.
taking them time to break that, right? So, but they have improved on almost all aspects. So that is where अगर एक मैनेजमेंट थी वो चला ही नहीं पा रही थी, एक मैनेजमेंट आई उसने 6 महीने में इतना चेंज ला दिया है that people have started noticing it. So that's where the strategic tools come in, right?
तो एक परसेप्शन भी होता है कि भाई अब ये टीम आ गई है तो ये अच्छा ही कर रही होगी जो
हाँ
कर
हाँ.
रही है.
नहीं
You
वो,
see, sometimes because I talked to somebody, he said the Air India still is the same.
नो नो नो.
So I mean, but he says नई टीम आ गई और अच्छा करेगी.
नहीं नहीं
So
वो आप फ्लाई करके देखिए, उनमें बेसिकली दे हैव रिवैम्प्ड देयर इवन कैबिन क्रू एंड एवरीथिंग. सो
that's
बहुत
good.
कुछ कर रहे हैं, बहुत कुछ कर रहे हैं.
That's good. Thanks, Rajiv.
राइट, थैंक यू सो मच. बी इन टच. आप अपना नंबर मेरे से शेयर करिएगा, मैंने चैट विंडो में अपना नंबर डाला है,
मैं बता.
आप व्हाट्सएप करिएगा.
Right.
So those who are not part of our community, please you can WhatsApp to me on my number. I add you to our WhatsApp group so that you keep getting messages. And we normally regularly try to meet at 11:30 a.m. On every Sunday. So be part of us, and In case you wish to share also any of your thoughts, or you want to make a presentation, we'll be too happy to give you platform. Yeah. So
Rajiv,
so,
actually, I'm a co-founder along with Biswajit. So both of
oh,
us.
very nice, very
Yeah.
nice, very nice. विश्वजीत जी तो मेरे से टच में है, right?
He only introduced me to you.
Great,
So,
great. It'll be great to welcome you, Sanjay ji. Yeah,
thank you.
thank you. Anybody else with any question or any comments? All right, thank you so much. We close for the day, and uh, uh, आज तो हमारे यहाँ वो twin tower गिरने वाला, so that's the news going around. So
No,
let's
we should not get late for that.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
Rajesh sir, one other thing, then can we do some workshop near means all the NCR region because I'm here in Gurgaon. So, can we do some workshop, right? 5 hour or 6 hour workshop?
आप निशांत मेरे से कनेक्ट होना, मैं आपको जो ऑप्शंस हमारी हैं ऑफ